Some of those federal agents have exited the building to retrieve boxes or bags from their cars. Demonstrators gathered in such large numbers that some of them couldn't even actually march. That gunshot you just heard is around 150 decibels. And that means filling up those gas tanks. But how can you as a consumer be sure that you're getting the correct amount of gas for the advertised price? Tonight is Craig Sager night, as you can tell by my lovely little blazer here, but it's also supporting a very important cause. And here in Springfield, more than 1,000 people gathered at the old state Capitol Plaza. When schools let out for Christmas break, the state owed them 6 months in necessary funds for special programs. We do see some clouds coming over, so hopefully we can keep that rain away. Well, tax season is almost here already, and the state of Illinois is doing something to help low-income families get things done. New Berlin is taking on Calvary for the Class 1A regional men's title. When she was called into her doctor's office after a series of tests last October, she says she knew it was something more.
Here is leading the CSA. They're doing a great job. Only one conference lost to MacArthur. How are you going to capitalize on that tonight in Lincoln? I've got a couple of excited fans here. They're wearing a special shirt. We're going to tell you a little bit more about it and the cause they're supporting. That's coming up after the break. I'm live here at the apartment complex where that fatal fire took place earlier this morning. Now the apartment complex behind me, you can see some of the windows are shattered or boarded up. That's because residents say that the smoke was so heavy, so thick that many of the residents were unable to exit through their doors. They were forced to escape through their windows. The fire department says they were on scene just 5 minutes after the original call went out. The flames were extinguished in about 10 minutes, but still, that was too late for a 3-year-old little girl who died as a result of this fire. 3-year-old Haley Campbell dies from smoke inhalation, according to the coroner's office. The mother suffered severe burn wounds trying to save her children.
All indications are that the mother was very heroic in trying to get her children out.
The mother and her 3 children were inside the apartment when the flames broke out. The father was at work. The fire department says the mother and 2 of her children just barely made it out in time.
The mother of the 3 children involved had awakened and opened the window, took 2 of the children and got them out the window. And at that point, she was driven out the window herself by the fire, and she sustained significant burn injuries herself.
The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but it did start in the living area near the front door. The fire department says the apartment complex had working smoke detectors, but the single unit may not have.
The common areas of the complex had a functioning alarm system that awakened residents in other units. It's unclear at this time, but it appears that there were not functioning smoke detectors in this particular apartment.
The apartment complex manager Todd Foster confirmed the complex smoke detectors were working. He says he is devastated and can't believe it after hearing the news this morning. The American Red Cross is doing what they can to help the family during this very difficult time.
Their next steps are obviously to find some safe location. We want to try to find them a safe alternate location.
Third-floor resident who did not wish to appear on camera during this difficult time described a pretty frantic scene even 2 stories above the fire. She says her and her neighbor met in the hallway with their children. They decided they were unable to make it down due to that thick smoke throughout the entire apartment complex. They decided to wait until firefighters could come help them down. Reporting live in Springfield, Jaclyn Driscoll, News Channel 20. The environment here earlier today was absolutely electric. I want to take a quick shot of the ground here. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but it's just tons of matted grass and dozens of muddy footprints. Some of the lingering effects of what happened here just a couple hours ago. Hundreds of protesters, anti-Madigan, pro-union, coming out going toe-to-toe with one another.
We like Mike! We like Mike! Rounders wrong! Rounders wrong!
Those just a couple of chants heard by union workers who faced off with anti-Madigan protesters.
Bruce Rauner has shown in the 2 years that he's been in office that he is no friend of working people. Whether they're in a union or not, Bruce Rauner's agenda is designed to lower wages, take away benefits, and make it harder for people to have a voice in the job.
In addition to taking oaths of office, Wednesday was also a time for electing leaders, giving protesters an opportunity for their voices to be heard.
I mean, you wouldn't want Rauner to be in there for 30 years. Okay? Rauner, the governor has a term limit. Why shouldn't our Speaker of the House have a term limit?
Look, the Speaker right now represents working class people.
The Republican Party has waged a propaganda war, trying to vote out House Speaker Michael Madigan. That didn't work, but protesters led by the Illinois Policy Institute, a conservative conservative think tank, were there to express their opposition to Madigan as well.
30 years, we vote for them, they steal from our pension fund, and they ask us to vote for them again.
House Speaker Mike Madigan has no interest in protecting the working families, the vast majority of working families in Illinois. He has interest in his own power, and we've seen that.
Their message, though, drowned out by union workers protesting Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner.
Fair wages, yes. Billionaires, no.
And dozens of state representatives vowing to stand up for the middle class.
We're going to fix Illinois, and we're going to take care of the middle class, and we're going to make sure none of you get thrown under the bus in the process.
Now, both groups protesting here today say that they were here for the working class, the middle class families that they're supporting. It's clear, though, that they fiercely believed in two different paths, two different leaders to guide Illinois down the path to success. Reporting at the University of Illinois Springfield, Jaclyn Driscoll, News Channel 20. Jackson is a miracle in every sense of the word. Not only is he exceeding all expectations with his progress, but the fact that he's even alive today is more than his doctors could have imagined.
That big ball of blood vessels is what bled.
September 2nd, 2016 is a day that changed the Scharf family's life forever. It was a day that Jackson's heart stopped beating.
I prayed to God this was a nightmare, but I would wake up and this would just be a nightmare. But it wasn't.
It was a day he was rushed to emergency surgery to remove a part of his skull. A day doctors had to tell Jackson's parents that their youngest son probably wouldn't survive.
There's probably about a 95% chance based off of the way he came in, the presentation, and the rapid decline that he was probably going to die.
But now it's a day Jackson's mom likes to use as a mile marker to measure just how far her son has come.
Everything you do the first year of your life, he had to do that as a 9-year-old again.
Jackson had to relearn daily tasks often taken for granted, how to talk, walk, and eat, after a 5-month stay in the hospital filled with brain surgeries, constant physical therapy, and maybe a bit too much time with mom.
We probably need a break right now, honestly.
Jackson is home again, enjoying the simple things, his favorite things.
Played video games, I don't know.
Just being home and just doing normal stuff.
Not only did Jackson survive, he's surpassed all expectations. He continues to do so every day.
He certainly is, he is a miracle, in my opinion.
What do I hope for Jackson? I hope that he will be a normal kid.
And now that he's finally back in Mount Zion, he's got a goal of his own.
Eat crackles.
Jackson will continue therapy and will have medical checkups for the rest of his life. But as a sports lover, he'll be out on the baseball diamond helping his dad coach this summer and will return to Mount Zion Grade School very soon.